Hey, how you guys doing? My name is Antonio Sanchez. I work for Samo Fund. I get to run the nursery here at Rancho Sierra Vista. We grow native plants, we collect seed. But today I get to do something cooler than working at the nursery. I get to read you guys a book at the nursery. Because of COVID, we don't get to have a lot of youngsters that we get to read books for. So I brought my plant youngsters here. I got some mugwort babies and some white sage babies and even some sticky wild rose babies that are going to be listening to this story today. We're lucky enough to read this story from Sleeping Bear Press. They've given us permission to share the story with you guys. It's called Badger's Perfect Garden. It's about a badger and his perfect garden. So let's get started. It was written by Marcia Diane Arnold, illustrated by Ramona Kolitsky, and this was my favorite book growing up, and this was published last year, 2019. So this is a really cool book. I'm excited to read this with y'all. Badger's Perfect Garden. Here we go. One spring morning, Red Squirrel found Badger surrounded by dozens of jars. The jars were filled with seeds. The seeds looked hopeful, just like Badger. I'm gonna interrupt real quick. We do a lot of seed collecting here at the nursery. We got a bunch of jars of seed too. I just want to show you that we got some cool seed here, just like Badger. And these guys look hopeful too. So let's get back to the story. What are you doing with all those seeds, Badger? Getting ready to plant. I gathered them late last summer and kept them in jars all through the fall and winter. Now I'm going to plant a perfect garden. So he takes the lid out, right? Red Squirrel, look closer. They're all different. Yes, all kinds. Green, brown, flat and round, bumpy and smooth, whirly, curly, and straight as my whiskers. Oh, Badger's kind of like a little poet right there. Saw some rhyming there. Where did you find them? Some from Weasel's garden, some from the wildflowers near Dormouse's home. Some stuck themselves to my fur, and some floated in on the wind. You have so many, said the Red Squirrel. You'll need help planting. Now let me interrupt again real quick here. In the background, you might see some floating of seeds. Right now is a perfect time to collect coyote bush seed, and you guys might see them floating in the background. I just brought this prop, special extra for this story. There we go. Don't mind the seed on me. So Weasel brought his favorite rake, Red Squirrel helped Dormouse gather string, and Badger studied his garden plan. There he goes. We have to make sure the ground is perfectly smooth, said Badger. Everyone weeded and raked. That's some hard work right there. I don't see any Gatorades or anything. Gotta drink some water, stay hydrated. When the earth was as smooth as the forest pond in winter, Badger pushed big sticks into the dirt. Red Squirrel and Dormouse stretched string between the sticks to mark rows. Look at that. Be sure the rows are perfectly straight, said Badger. Well, Badger's kind of bossy if you ask me. Weasel found a twig to make holes for the seeds. Bumpy seeds in this row, round ones here. Keep the whirlies together, Badger directed. When the seeds were planted, Badger invited his friends to a celebration. Everyone enjoyed muffins and mulberry juice. Badger imagined the plants that would grow in perfect rows in his perfect garden. I've never had mulberry juice before, but it sounds great. I would have appreciated Badger would have invited me to this party with the muffins and stuff. Maybe because of COVID, he's not doing, just limit it to 5 people. Anyways, the next day, the sky sent showers. Badger smiled. Look at how happy Badger is. The day after that, it sent heavy rain. Badger worried. Uh-oh, no me gusta. Badger's like, uh-oh. Oh, now it's windy. The day after, it sent a downpour. Badger grabbed his umbrella and rushed outside. He ran up and down the rows, trying to cover his seed. I don't know if he's going to do it. The rain kept pouring. Badger flung himself across the rows, doing his best to hold the earth together. Sticks and strings collapsed. The ground began to slide. Uh-oh. Ah! Let me try that again. Ah! That's more like it. Red Squirrel, Dormouse, and Weasel came running. My beautiful seeds have washed away, Badger sniffled. Oh, pobrecito. Seeds will float on the wind again when the sunniest days come, comforted Red Squirrel. After the wildflowers bloom, there'll be seeds to collect, said Dormouse. We can gather seeds when my vegetables ripen, said Weasel. Collecting seeds is hard work, and besides, I'll have no perfect garden this summer, said Badger. Badger looks bummed out. He looked a little sad. Empty jars, seed in the background. So Badger could not be consoled. He stayed inside his house, busying himself with this and that. Look at that. That looks like a lot of us right now, honestly, with COVID. Just kind of upside down, sleeping. I'm doing a lot of that because of COVID. A lot of that too. Look at that. One summer day, in the middle of his afternoon nap, Badger heard a clamoring at his door. Come on, Badger. Come on, Badger, turn it around. I think he's about to turn around. Badger, come look, cried Red Squirrel, Dormouse, and Weasel. Oh, there's his buddies right there. Your seed found another place to grow. Oh man, look at that. Those can't be my seeds, said Badger, rubbing his eyes. They're all mixed up. They're just rearranged themselves, said Red Squirrel. If you hadn't planted them over there, they wouldn't be here. Badger stared at the hodgepodge of colors, the jumble tumble of shapes and sizes. They made him feel jumbly and tumbly too. It looks like a celebration. It's the most perfect garden of all. And because the friends love celebrations, they ran into the garden for a hodgepodge of garden games, jumbly-tumbly dancing, and muffins and mulberry juice. The end. Again, I did not get an invitation to this mulberry juice party, but it's all good. I think it's because of COVID. So I love this story because it talks about a lot of what we do here at the nursery, which is plant seeds, and sometimes birds come and eat them. Sometimes the wind comes and blows them away. But just like Badger, you just got to keep moving forward, and eventually the seeds will grow up, whether it's where you wanted them to or not. But I got this little coyote bush just to show you how much the wind really does disperse the seed. And I hope you all have time, whether it's in your apartment or in your houses, to plant some seeds this winter and spring. And we look forward to seeing your guys' gardens. Thanks for tuning in.